welcome to the vlog. My name is Jay. I need to hold this. I feel like I need to hold this. Today's vlog is just going to be a day of writing because it's the first day in forever that I have nothing going on because it's Labor Day, and I need to write. I want to. I've been writing. I've been squeezing it in. Like I went to Vegas recently and I took my laptop and I went to LA and I write on my lunch breaks at work, blah, blah, blah. I'm busy with good things. I'm happy to be working and making money and having fun, but I just want to write. I just want nothing. I want nothing except writing to happen. So I am very excited to take you along. If you're new here, I'm working on a book called The Shark Book, or nicknamed The Shark Book. As you can see, I'm a fan. Did I already say it's literary fiction? I don't know. It's a literary fiction book, and it's about a group of shark divers in the Florida Keys. Today, I have a goal for my vlog today. I love when other people share about their books and what's happening in them, but I'm so secretive when it comes to mine, and I won't say anything. Like, I haven't even said any of my characters' names. My main character's name is Sawyer. Okay, there you go. I'm trying to, I just need to think of what I can share, like what I'm comfortable sharing, but sometimes I don't want to think too hard about it, and I'm really vague. And I don't think that's satisfying. So I'm going to try to share a little bit more about my book today throughout the vlog. We'll see what happens. But this morning I wrote while I ate breakfast. I got really close to finishing a chapter, but I was kind of I just needed a break because I was at the very end of it and it wasn't turning out well anymore. But I have like 3 paragraphs left. No, 3 sentences. I have 3 sentences left, so I will finish that very soon. But what can I tell you about where I am? I am approaching the end of Act 3 right now, and the end of Act 3 is probably going to be my favorite part of the book. Okay, so there's this big traumatic event that happened in the past, and I've been hinting at it the whole book. I've shared parts of it. I've kind of shared what happened, but not how it happened, and all the aftermath and everything, and I'm so excited to write it because I have so many ideas. I can just see it, and I'm going to write it in kind of vignettes, little oh my god, it's gonna be so good. I'm so excited to write that. It's gonna be stunning. To get there, I'm not quite there. I have 3 chapters left, so I'm really trying to not rush these chapters and make them bad just because I'm so excited to write that part, but we'll get there when we get there. It's fine. Yes, but the chapter I'm writing right now, what's happening, what can I tell you? Can I trust you? I will just say that this is kind of the calm before the storm. So my main character is having a moment, whatever, none of your business. And then something quite bad is about to happen, and there's going to be a big fight. I fight with words, and I just love writing fights because I'm good at dialogue. That's one thing that I really like about my writing, and people are about to say some very hurtful words to one another, and I'm very excited. And there's also something really gory in this chapter, and I'm like, is this too much? It's kind of like, yeesh, but I'm just gonna put it in and see what happens. Yeah, so I'm gonna write right now. I will talk to you later. Alright, I finished that chapter that I was pretty much already done with. Yeah, the parts that I needed to fill in, I think I was thinking should be more fancy this morning when I took a break, and then I got in there and I looked at everything and I was like, no, I think it's actually good because I have a lot of, figurative language in this chapter, and sometimes you need to balance that by just saying stuff how it is instead of being like, but what does it resemble in nature? Doesn't matter. So it was pretty easy. I got it all sorted out and I really like this chapter. Now I am starting a new chapter, and I thought I would just talk about how I write a chapter because you guys are dying to know. So this book I'm drafting differently than I've drafted a book before. I talked about this in another vlog, but I'm writing it really cleanly because since it's literary fiction, and for me, some of my favorite parts of literary fiction are just the lines. And I think so much happens on the line level. I'm trying to write a clean first draft. But keep in mind, I have nothing to work with. I'm trying to make it sound like a final draft and it's a blank page every time I start a new chapter, right? So I have an outline. Don't worry, I'm not that you're crazy if you're a pantser, but if I was a pantser, I would be crazy. For me, I check my outline, and every chapter, some chapters are really heavily outlined because I've daydreamed about them a million times, so I kind of know it, but some just have a couple lines of what's going to happen. Either way, I do a page break, and in the document I do bullet points of everything I want to happen, and then I usually go in with dialogue first, because that's so important to me. I love it. Yeah, I usually do dialogue first because that is what makes a scene. Well, it depends on the scene. This scene, yeah, it's going to be dialogue. So like I mentioned, this scene, there's a fight, and so I'm going to just probably without any action or anything, just write out all of the things that will be thrown around, because every scene advances the plot in some way, even if it's a small kind of character level thing. So I just want to make sure before I start actually making it pretty that everything is accounted for, everything that the scene is supposed to be doing. So I'm going to get in there and make sure everything is said that needs to be said. And then after that, my first step is usually I will finalize the dialogue, and then I highlight it. Anything highlighted is done. Then I'll usually go to the opening where most chapters I'm setting the scene in some way with some beautiful atmospheric writing, like Pulitzer Prize writing. So I'll go up there, and once it's done, I highlight it. I love highlighting because then I can easily see what's done and what still needs to be fixed. And then usually when I'm almost done, when I have like a paragraph left, I'll just go unhighlight everything and then go through and read it with fresh eyes and clean it up, do some finalization. And then depending on how long the chapter is and how long it's taking me, I might be done with it, but then go back the next day and read it before I officially like check it off and move on, because if you're writing for hours and hours, sometimes you're just like way too close to it. But yeah, I don't anticipate finishing this chapter today at all, but I hope I can get all of the dialogue done. That's my goal. I'm gonna go do that. Bye. Just so you know, while I film this writing update, the girls are watching. They're right up there, don't worry. Quick update. This chapter has it's kind of one scene. I wouldn't say it's 3 separate scenes, but it has 3 interactions. Almost done outlining the first interaction, which is the longest one and the most pivotal. And it's pretty good. I need to go back. I really want it to hit hard because it's a very significant interaction, because it's a catalyst for something that's going to happen in Act 4. Some things that are said are going to cause some unfortunate events. So I'm just trying to make sure that emotionally everything is hitting. And also I need them, in this first interaction, I need these 2 people, I need them to say things that they both already know, but I need them to come up because I want someone to overhear it. And I think there's ways I can make it natural, but I'm just trying to be very careful to not make it one of those, as you know, scenes. But yeah, I took a break because I don't know how much time passed because I zoned out, but I put my chin in my hand and then I just started imagining this scene that's going to happen in the flashback section at the end of Act 3. And I was really getting into it. I was like, yes. So I'm just taking a break, but it's fine. It's going good. But I made a promise to you to share about my book. And one thing that I can share is these aren't comps necessarily. Maybe I'll use some of them as comps, but these are just some books that inspired my book in some way, or the vibes are similar. I'm pretty sure I never finished talking over there and I just got distracted and because I wanted to move over here. So jump cut, here I am. Let's talk about some books that are similar to my book. Where do I begin? Okay, number 1. This is in no particular order. But the first one is the Beartown series by Frederick Bachman. I feel insecure that that's not a more niche reference, but listen, it's all hyped up for a reason. It's very good. I don't have the first one with me at this time because, I let my dear sister borrow it, but we'll just hold this one up. These books are similar to mine, I think, not necessarily tonally. I think my book's a little darker tonally, but I guess just character relationship wise, my book is similar. Not even that there's a relationship in here in the series that is similar to one in my book, but just the way that he shows how important everybody is to each other and how much everyone influences each other. Hey guys, editing Jay here really quick. I wasn't articulating myself very well and I forgot everything that was similar about Beartown to my book, but one of the other reasons I think it's so similar is because there's a very clear plot, but it's so character driven at the same time, and I really like that balance because I love literary fiction books, but sometimes when they're so nebulous that there's no plot, that's not my favorite thing. I really like a clear plot while still being character driven, and the Beartown series is definitely like that. So that's another reason I am writing the next Beartown. Thank you. Also, Martyr. I only recently read Martyr, not that recently, a couple months ago, but I had been drafting the shark book for a really long time before I read this book, so it didn't necessarily inspire it, but the relationship between Cyrus and Z just reminded me a lot of the relationship between my main character Sawyer and his best friend Lola. Another character drop. Without saying much, because I'm still secretive, okay? Without saying too much about why I think Cyrus and Z are similar to Sawyer and Lola, I just like the exploration of what it means for two people to be really important to each other when one of them is really struggling. Yeah, we won't go more into it than that, but I was reading this and I was like, oh my god, Sawyer and Lola, is that you? My next one is very obscure. Yeah, is it your favorite book, Blue Meridian, The Search for the Great White Shark? Yes, this is Blue Meridian, The Search for the Great White Shark. This was given to me by my grandma because she knows I like sharks. And this is a nonfiction. Okay, bear with me. Okay, it's not about sharks. It's not, just bear with me. But it's about this expedition. They're trying to get a great white shark on film, basically. And at the time that this book was written, this was very difficult to do. But what I love is that the guy who wrote this, I can't remember why he was along for the ride, but he wasn't like a shark diver or anything. He was just coming and he was interviewing everyone and really observing the people more so than the sharks. And this is really what, like, thematically, this book is it influenced my book a lot because I loved that, okay, they're diving with sharks left and right every day for hours and hours, but then they have their own personal issues in their personal lives that are sometimes even more significant to them than the sharks. And I just think that's a cool way to put in perspective how hard some things can be in life. And yeah, in my book, all my characters are struggling with something, and these things that my characters are struggling with kind of influence why they dive with sharks for different reasons. And I think it's cool that some of them aren't even scared and they're like, yes, I will dive with a shark, but I won't, go to therapy. I would never. That's too scary. Yeah, thematically, this book, I was just like, oh, I wasn't expecting it either. At first, I was just reading this purely because I thought it was about sharks, and then it was not really that much about sharks. So there you go. The inside scoop, kind of, about a little bit more the vibes of my book. I'm going to go finish outlining this interaction in this chapter and make sure all the lines are super hard-hitting and everyone's like, oh my god, like, no way. Yeah, let's do it. just finished writing. I'm still in my bed. I don't have a word count stat for you for the day because mostly everything I wrote is just an outline, kind of, so I don't count it toward my word count. But I wrote for, I think, 3.5 hours today, maybe 4, which is great. Yes, in terms of where I left off with the chapter, I was working on the first interaction that I talked about and trying to make connections between things, and I think I figured something out, but I kind of I'm going to let it sit overnight and then figure it out. So I was writing the last interaction instead. I skipped to that one because that one's my favorite, and I got a good start on there. The only thing is I have this, okay, I was watching a show one time. I won't tell you what because I don't want any spoilers. I was watching a show and there's this really cool reveal that they did. The show was very bad. I was watching it ironically with my sister, but the reveal was like, okay, I see. I've never seen something like that. So I wanted to put it in this book, and I think I'm just gonna have to kill a darling because it just doesn't, it's just weird. I don't know. It just doesn't fit the book, I don't think. But this scene, like, it ends with that reveal being set up, and then the actual reveal is supposed to happen in the next chapter. And I'm like, I don't think so. I don't think so anymore. But the reveal has also been set up kind of throughout the book. It's not a big deal. It's not a huge part of the book. It's just a little something. And I don't want to go back and change what's already there because this is still just a first draft. Even though I'm trying to make it as clean as I can, it's like, it's not going to be perfect. So I decided I'm just going to keep the reveal in for now and then probably end up changing it later. So because of that, I'm trying not to get too stuck on this chapter. Just the parts that I think will change. It's hard because I'm a perfectionist I'm kind of being a perfectionist about this draft, but I also know it will change. So I'm like, why am I trying so hard? But I don't know. I just think I need to. I need a finished, beautiful draft to look at, even if it's not perfect. I want it to still read well, just so I can see. I don't know. I'm just trying it. If I regret drafting it this way, I just won't do it again. My day of writing has come to an end. Just some reflections. It wasn't super overly productive. I feel like I did everything that I could, but since it was a whole free day, I'm like, I should have written a whole chapter. I should have finished. I should have written 3 chapters. But I can just get in my head when I have free time. Like, I do squeeze in as much writing as I can into my free time, but sometimes if I'm just working with the same paragraph over and over for like an hour, sometimes it feels like I wasted time even though I didn't. Yeah, it's just tough knowing that for the next, oh God, I don't even know, like 2 weeks, I'm not gonna have a day like this, maybe, probably longer, I don't know. It's just a busy time of life. Like I said, it's all good. It can just be hard, especially because I was talking in my last vlog about how I am not going back to school, at least for the time being. I have no plans for that because the job I have now, even though it's not super lucrative, it allows for a lot of writing time. Usually, I'm busy right now because I'm working 2 jobs, but whatever. The point is, I'm not going back to school because I'm pursuing writing. So then when I'm not super productive in my writing, I feel just like I'm floating through the world. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I'm supposed to be pursuing my goal, and why am I not doing it faster? But it's fine. Like, I just need to take my time. Any other reflections? I liked sharing a little bit more about my book. I will definitely keep doing that in the next vlogs. Nosy Nancy's, stick around. I guess I have to go to bed now, and I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna get to work early and I'm gonna write in my car. If you wanna see that, I did that last vlog. Wow, look at me promoing left and right. All right, bye, see you next time. Mwah.